Do you ever wonder why, no matter how hard you try, love just seems to escape you? You do everything right. You're kind. You're supportive. You're present. So why, at the exact moment you think you're building a connection, do you feel it? That pullback, that subtle distance. The invisible wall, and you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Today, we stop asking that question, because that question itself is part of the misunderstanding that has held us back. We have been taught to see relationships as a game of strategy, a series of right moves and wrong moves. If I do A, she will do B. If I say C, she will feel D. And it is exhausting us. What's the truth? The truth is, the woman in your life is not a puzzle to be solved. She is a mirror. This is what I need you to really hear. Most of what you experience in a relationship is not about the other person. It is a reflection, an echo of your own internal state. I call this the relational echo law. Her behavior toward you is not random weather. It is a perfect ecological response to the emotional and spiritual signals you are unconsciously transmitting. Your confusion is not about her. You are confused by the echo of yourself. Today, we are not talking about 10 secret signs. We are not talking about pickup lines. We are talking about changing, at the very root, who you are, so that when she looks at you, the mirror does not reflect anxiety, or neediness, or emptiness. It reflects something whole, something real. Today, we begin a journey through 7 layers of awareness. If you walk this path with me, you will not leave with tactics. You will leave with a compass. The first layer of discovery, the anchor of stillness. Let's talk about what the world calls security. Most of the advice out there will tell you that women want security. And so we try to perform security. We show off the job. We show off our strength. We try to be a good man, but we have missed the point entirely. Security is not a resume you present. It is a frequency you broadcast. Imagine the ocean in a storm. The surface is chaos. Waves crashing. Wind howling. Most of us live our entire lives on that chaotic surface, trying to control the waves. A woman, emotionally, lives in that storm too. Her world is full of microfluctuations, social pressures, internal insecurities, hormonal waves. When she tests you, she is not doing it intentionally. She is simply being her own storm, and when her storm meets your storm, your anxiety about losing her, your restlessness, your defensiveness, the result is 2 storms colliding. Double chaos, and she withdraws. Because no one finds shelter in another storm. Now, imagine the deep ocean floor, where there is no sunlight, but there are also no waves. There is only stillness, pressure, and absolute peace. A man who has found his internal security is a man who has learned to live from that deep ocean floor. He does not try to stop her storm. He does not even try to fix it. He is simply the anchor that keeps the ship from being swept away. His calm is real. It is not a tactic. It is where he lives. I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I lost a job I thought defined me. I was in a panic. My storm was visible to everyone. And I noticed everyone, not just women, but friends, family. They kept their distance. My desperate energy was too much. It was only when I stopped trying to control the external storm and began the journey inward, through meditation, through Stoicism, through just sitting in the discomfort, that I found my 0 point. That is the anchor. When a woman feels that anchor, she does not analyze it. She does not think, oh, he is so secure. She simply relaxes. She breathes an exhale she did not know she was holding. And in that relaxed space, love can begin to grow. So, the first reflective question is this. When the storms of life hit, she does not text back. Your boss is angry, your car breaks down. Where do you go for shelter? And what if, instead of seeking shelter, you were the shelter? The second layer of discovery, the fire of purpose. And now, we must speak of the anchor's opposite. The fire, what the world calls desire. If the anchor is security, the fire is what makes life worth living. Most men think that to create desire, they must do something. They must flirt. They must be unpredictable. They must play a game. And again, they have missed the entire point. You do not create desire. You bring the desire. Imagine this. You are in a dark, cold forest. You see two men. The first man sits shivering by a pile of damp twigs. He looks at you with pleading eyes and says, "Do you have a fire? Can you warm me? If you give me some warmth, I will give you these branches." This is the nice guy. He is trying to trade his security, the branches, for warmth, desire, love. The second man, you do not even see him at first. You just see the glow. You are drawn to it. As you get closer, you see he is by a large, raging bonfire. He is focused on the fire, adding logs, lost in his work. He does not even notice you at first. He is not cold. He does not need your warmth. He is the warmth. He is the fire. A woman is not attracted to the man who needs her to feel complete. She is attracted to the man who is already so full of life that his energy spills over and warms her too. This fire is your purpose. It is your mission. It is your art. It is your work, not for the money, but for the creation. It is your body, trained not to impress, but because you respect the vessel that carries you. Most men fail because they make the woman their purpose. The moment she feels that, his fire goes out. He is no longer a partner on an adventure. He is a burden that must be kept warm. A friend of mine was once an incredible musician. His fire was so bright. Women were drawn to him. Then he fell in love. And he stopped playing. He made her his music. He wanted to spend every free minute with her. He stopped seeing his friends. He stopped writing, and a year later, she left him. She said, "You're not the man I fell in love with." He had extinguished his own fire. The desire a woman feels is not about your unpredictability. It is about her seeing you living in your truth, and her feeling a longing to be part of that energy. She does not want to be the center of your world. She wants to join your fascinating world. Here is the second reflective question. If you knew with certainty that you would never find the one, what would you dedicate the rest of your life to building? What passion would you pursue? What great work would you do? And why, in God's name, are you not doing it already? The third layer of discovery, the ghost of the Father, to have a still anchor and a purposeful fire. We must go deeper. Why do we lack an anchor? Why is our fire so weak? Why do we so desperately seek validation from a woman? We have to talk about the first man in our lives. We have to talk about our fathers. For so many of us, we are carrying a backpack full of invisible stones, and on every stone is a word carved into it. Not good enough. Weak. Disappointment. We carry the ghost of a father we could never please, or an absent father who left a hole in us shaped exactly like him. We walk into the world as men, but inside, we are still that little boy standing at the door, desperately waiting for our father to say, "Well done, son. I'm proud of you." And when he never does, we turn to the first woman who shows us kindness, and we unconsciously hand her the script. We say, "Can you be the one to tell me?" We search her eyes for the approval our father never gave. We chase success in our careers, not for us, but so we can finally be worthy. And the woman feels this. She feels the weight of it. She does not want to be your substitute mother or father. She wants an equal. When she tests you, she is not testing your patience. She is poking at your wound. And when you react, with anger, defensiveness, or by collapsing, you are not reacting to her. You are reacting to the ghost of your father. I lived this way for decades. Every achievement was hollow because it was not for me. It was to try and make a man who was long gone clap his hands. The healing only began the day I realized, I am never going to get that from him. And the real tragedy is, I do not need it anymore. I, as the man I am today, must turn back to that boy inside and become the father I always craved. I have to be the one to tell myself, you have done enough. You are enough. I am proud of you. The day you stop seeking external validation is the day your anchor truly hits the seabed. You stop asking her to fill a hole she did not dig. Here is the third reflective question. What validation are you asking her to provide that you must first provide for yourself? What are you trying to prove to her that you are really trying to prove to someone who is long gone? The fourth layer of discovery, the gift in her tests. Once you have begun to father yourself, once your anchor is set, your entire perception of her tests will change. They are no longer attacks. They are diagnostics. This is where we apply the relational echo law. Remember, she is the mirror. When she pulls away instead of panicking, she's losing interest. You will have a new awareness. You will ask, what is this mirror reflecting about me? Perhaps her distance is an echo of your own distance. You have been distant from your purpose. You have been distant from your body. You have been physically present, but mentally, you were somewhere else. And her distance is simply the mirror saying, you are not here. When she starts a fight or tests you with emotional chaos, instead of reacting, she's being crazy. You will ask, what chaos in me is she reflecting? Perhaps her inconsistency is an echo of your inconsistency. You say one thing but do another. You promise to take care of yourself, but you do not. You say you value her, but your actions are shallow. Her chaos is the echo saying, your words and your actions do not align. I remember a time an ex-girlfriend became very silent. In the past, I would have panicked. I would have chased. What's wrong? Are you okay? What did I do? But this time I practiced stillness. I just sat there with my anchor. I did not demand that she talk. I was simply present. After a while, she said, "You've seemed so stressed this week. Everything is rushed. I feel like you're a million miles away." She was right. I had been consumed by work. My fire had gotten out of control, and my anchor was dragging. Her silent test was not a punishment. It was a gift. It was an early warning system, reflected back at me by the mirror, saying, "Captain, we are off course." Mature men do not run from these mirrors. They are grateful for them. They use them to recalibrate. Here is the fourth reflective question. The last time she tested you, ignore her behavior for a second and be brutally honest. What unhealed, inconsistent, or absent part of you was she reflecting? The fifth layer of discovery, the richness of emptiness. Now we come to a deeper layer, one that most men spend their entire lives avoiding. We fear it. We fill it with noise, with work, with relationships, with anything, to not have to feel it. I am talking about emptiness, aloneness. What is the nice guy's greatest fear? That she will leave, and he will be left alone. This fear dictates his every action. It makes him a pushover. It makes him abandon his boundaries. It makes him suffocating. He clings too tightly, because he is terrified of the abyss of being alone. And what does the echo law say? She feels that terror, and it reflects back at him. His clinging creates the echo of her pushing away. True transformation only happens when you willingly step into the very thing you fear most. You must learn to love your aloneness. I am not talking about being lonely. I am talking about aloneness. Imagine a desert. Most men look at the desert of aloneness and see death, barrenness. But where do the prophets, the mystics, go to find their vision? They go into the desert. Because in the absolute silence with no distractions, you finally hear the real voice. When my long-term relationship ended years ago, I was thrown into that desert. At first it was hell. The silence was deafening. The emptiness was terrifying. But slowly, a miracle happened. I stopped trying to fill it. I just sat in it and I began to notice. The emptiness was not empty. It was full. It was full of ideas I never had time to think. It was full of energy I used to waste on someone else. It was full of me. I started dating myself. I took myself to movies. I went on hikes alone. I learned to cook a beautiful meal, just for me. And one Sunday morning, I was sitting on my balcony, drinking coffee, no phone, no book, just the sky. And I felt this wave of pure, unadulterated happiness wash over me. I was whole, alone. That is the moment the fire and the anchor merge. A man who is not afraid of the emptiness is the most powerful man in the room. He does not need her. He chooses her, and oh, a woman can feel that difference from a mile away. His choice has weight because it is made from abundance, not from scarcity. Here is the fifth reflective question. Can you sit in a room, alone, with no phone, no TV, no book, for 10 minutes? And feel completely at peace? If not, what is the silence trying to tell you that you are so afraid to hear? The sixth layer of discovery. The paradox of surrender. Once you have found the richness in the emptiness, one last thing must happen. You have built your anchor. You have lit your fire. You have healed your father wound. You have learned to read the mirror. You have befriended your aloneness. Now you are ready for love. Right? Almost. There is one last trap. The trap of trying. You can have all of this and then you meet her. And your ego whispers, okay, here's the plan. Let's show her our anchor. Let's show her our fire. We are going to win her, and instantly, you have lost, because you are back to tactics. You have turned your enlightenment into a pickup strategy. The final layer of maturity, and the most difficult, is surrender. Imagine you are a gardener. You cannot make a flower bloom. You cannot yell at it. You cannot negotiate with it. You cannot pull it out of the ground to make it grow faster. Trying to win a woman's love is just as futile. So, what does the wise gardener do? He focuses 100% on what he can control. He prepares the soil. That is your anchor, your security. He ensures there is sun and water. That is your fire, your purpose, your vitality. He pulls the weeds. That is healing your wounds, letting go of old patterns. And then, he surrenders. He trusts the process. He knows he has created the best possible environment for life to emerge. The rest is grace. The best relationship of my life came when I least expected it. I had stopped looking. I was not out there. I was lost in my work, my fire burning bright. I was at peace in my aloneness, my anchor set, and I met her. There were no games, no tactics. It was just two fires recognizing each other, two anchors feeling at peace together. Here is the paradox. The love you are desperately trying to win will never arrive. But the love that is a natural result of you becoming your most whole self, that love cannot be stopped. It will find you. Here is the sixth reflective question. Are you willing? Truly willing to surrender the outcome? Are you willing to build your greatest self? Even if it means you do it alone? Only when your honest answer is yes, are you truly ready. The final layer of discovery, your garden. So, we have walked through 6 layers. From understanding she is a mirror, to building the anchor, lighting the fire, healing the wound, and learning to surrender. The 7th layer is now. It is your life. Most men will hear this, nod, and do nothing. They will go back to the chaotic surface of the ocean, trying to control the waves. You just awaken. The idea. Transformation is not an idea. It is an action. It is a daily practice. So this is not an exercise. This is day 1 of your new work. For the next 3 days, I want you to practice the 3-minute anchor. 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Sit down. Close your eyes and do nothing. Do not try to meditate. Do not try to be calm. Just observe. Observe the storm in your mind. I have to do this. I forgot about that. Just watch it. Feel the weight of your body. Feel your breath come in and out. You are not the storm. You are the still, vast sky watching the storm pass. Do this for just 3 minutes. This is the beginning of building your anchor. This is the beginning of finding a peace that is not dependent on anyone or anything outside of you. You have been given this garden. Your mind, your body, and your spirit. Stop wasting time worrying about someone else's garden. Pull the weeds. Prepare the soil. Let the sun in. Build a place where your soul can flourish. And then, see who is drawn to its fragrance. If this journey resonated with you, If you felt something inside, why?